Hey everybody, my name is Philip Walton, and today I'm going to show you how to build a dashboard using the Google Analytics spreadsheet add-on. Now, if you've never used the spreadsheet add-on before, I definitely recommend checking out my previous video where I explain the basics of how to use and install the add-on. This video is going to be a little bit more advanced, so like I said, if you've never used it before, definitely check that other video out first. So, what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to build a dashboard. We're then going to embed that dashboard on a third-party website so you can share it with whoever you want. We're going to schedule our reports to update automatically in the background so that our dashboard data is always correct and current and that you don't have to manually update this yourself. And we're going to do all of this without writing any code. So let's go ahead and get started. The dashboard that I want to build, I wanted to see if we could recreate an existing dashboard to kind of make it more of a challenge. And on our demos and tools site, we have this dashboard using Chart.js and the Embed API, and a lot of people really like it. One question we get a lot is people are confused on how to use this dashboard themselves on their own website, and we kind of explain with the code here and show you exactly how you can do that, but I totally understand if you're not a developer, this can be a little bit intimidating. So I wanted to see if we could recreate this entirely just using the spreadsheet add-on to kind of demonstrate its power. So what is this dashboard showing us? Well, we have 4 visualizations. The top left one is comparing this week's traffic versus last week's traffic. To the right, we have a similar thing with this year versus last year. Both of these kind of just see how we're trending. And then below we have information about our top browsers and the top countries that our users are coming from. So let's go ahead and start making our reports. We know we're going to need this week versus last week. So let's call our first report this week. And I'm just going to go ahead and use my personal account here. I don't want to expose any sensitive data belonging to anybody else. So for our metrics, I'm going to choose sessions, and then for our dimension, I'm going to choose date because we know we're going to be comparing week to week. Okay, so if you notice that by default, the add-on uses last n days and sets it to 7. And that might seem like what we want because we're doing week-to-week data, but if you look closely at the visualization, you'll see that it's going from Sunday to Saturday, and today is Thursday. If we were just to do the last 7 days, we would be getting Friday to Thursday, and so that's not quite what we want. We want to always be showing this week compared to last week, where this week may be a partial week, depending upon what day it is. So that means we know that end date needs to be the current day, so we can use the spreadsheet today function. And to get start date, we need to get whatever the most recent Sunday is. And that can be a little bit tricky, but Spreadsheets has a function called weekday, where you can pass in a date and it will return a number representing the day of the week. So today is a Thursday, and that's Spreadsheets is returning 5, where Sunday is 1, Monday is 2, and so on and so forth. What we need to say, okay, whatever day today is, subtract whatever day of the week it is to get the previous Sunday. And actually, we need this weekday function to return us a 0-based index where Sunday is 0, Monday is 1, instead of what it does, where Sunday is 1 and Monday is 2. But we can fake that by just subtracting 1. It's pretty easy. So this will return us whatever the most recent Sunday is. Now we know we also need a report called next week, or I should say last week. And the date range here is where the end date is whatever the previous Saturday is, and we can get that by, we already know what the previous Sunday is, and if we just subtract 1, we can get the previous Saturday. And we can do a similar thing here where we get the end date and then subtract 7 to get the Sunday prior to that. Okay, so we have our first 2 reports. Let's go ahead and run them and see what data we get back. So here's our last week report, and this other tab shows this week. Now you notice that this is only 5 days, which is exactly what we want. It's a partial data set. So let's combine these two in this other sheet we have down here to create our visualization. And so I'll call the headers this week and last week, and the x-axis will be the day of the week. So let's just start out with Sunday, and we'll just let Spreadsheets automatically fill this in. Now for last week, we need to just reference the other sheet, like the data cells in the other sheet. So we could do that by using this notation here, and I just happen to know that the cell number is B16. And then we'll do the same thing for last week. Okay, so now we just select these cells and click the visualization button, and we can create a visualization. So let's go ahead and choose an area chart and insert that into our sheet. And let's just change some of these values around. To make it look more like the other visualization, let's just kind of change the color here, and we'll move this below, set our title to this week versus last week. We'll just say sessions. All right, there we go. We have our first visualization. So let's do a very similar thing for this year versus last year. I'm just going to copy these values. Again, we want our end date to be today. That's correct. For our start date here, we want it to be whatever the first day of the year was. So January 1st of the current year. Now, Spreadsheets has a date function where you can pass in a year, a month, and a day, and it will return the date for that. And so in this case, we need to figure out whatever the year is for the current year. So we can use the year function for that and just pass in today, and that will return the current year. And then we know we want January, the first month, and we want the first day. So this will give us January 1st of the current year. And then here we do a very similar thing where we just subtract 1 to get the end date for last year. And then here we subtract 365 to get the start date for last year. We'll ignore the possibility of a leap year just to keep this simple. And then the dimensions, we need to change this from date to month because we want to bucket this by month. All right, let's run these reports. We should get 2 more sheets at the bottom representing our new reports. Okay, so we have, this is our last year report, and this is our this year. We're going to go ahead and go to our combined sheet and do a very similar thing where we say this year, last year, and then let's set our x-axis labels to the months. One too many. And again, just referencing the previous sheets. This year, B16. Year, B16. And select these cells and create another visualization. So to be consistent with the example, we'll use a column chart. And I'll just move this around so we can see it better. Let's go ahead and choose the same color we did before. Put this below. We'll remove this axis label. And let's see if we can shrink these a little bit or angle them so they all fit kind of in the same line better. And then we'll call our chart this year versus last year sessions. All right, so we have our first 2. Let's go ahead and create the last ones. So this one's going to be top browsers. For the date range, let's just go ahead and say the last 30 days to keep it current. We'll keep sessions as our metric, and for our dimension, we'll do GA browser. Now, this will just give us all the browsers. We only need the top 5, so we'll say max results is 5, and we want this to be sorted by the top browser, like to the least frequently used browser. So we need to sort it in descending order by sessions. And then we're going to do a very similar thing for top countries, where we just have to change the dimension to GA country. Now I'll run these reports, and we should get, again, 2 new sheets in the bottom that have this data. Okay, so there we see top countries. Let's go ahead and create this visualization. We'll use a donut chart. And then for top browsers, we'll do the same thing. Okay, so now we have all our visualizations. Now what we need to do is embed them onto a third-party website. So I have a Google Sites site that I've kind of set up, and just this is a blank page. This doesn't have to be Google Sites. You could just use an HTML document or a WordPress site or any kind of CMS or anything that you can enter HTML code into. So this is going to give us our HTML code window, and then all we have to do is go over here and then share these visualizations, or I should say publish them, and then just copy the embed code. So we just publish this chart, click embed, click publish, and then we get an iframe HTML snippet. We just have to copy that and then bring it over here and paste it in as HTML. And then I'll do that for all of the other charts. Publish this. Get our top browsers. And then lastly, we'll get our top countries. So this renders these visualizations stacked on top of each other. That's not quite what we want. We can fix this by creating a table, 2x2 table, and I'm just going to drag these into the table. All right, so here we have it. Here is our dashboard. So we still need to set this to automatically update, because this shows us the data for right now when we just ran these reports. But if we come back tomorrow, it's just going to show the exact same thing. We need it to be updating automatically. So we can do that by going back to our spreadsheet and from the add-ons menu, clicking Schedule Reports, and then we can pick our schedules, and Google Sheets will run these reports in the background based on the schedule that we choose. So to enable this, we just click the checkbox to enable the reports to run automatically, and let's just have this, for simplicity's sake, let's just have this run every hour. So now our schedule is scheduled to run every hour. I don't want to wait an hour to show you this, so I can demonstrate how this would look by just changing the view ID and then running the reports manually, and then you'll see that the dashboard does in fact update when the report data changes. And this is just another random view I now have access to. So we've run all of these, and as you can see, if we look at these sheets, you can see that this visualization looks different. This one also looks different. And so when we go back to our dashboard, all we have to do is refresh, and the data will appear over here because these visualizations are live. It's actually pulling in the data that is currently in the spreadsheet. So we'll just refresh. And as you can see, here is the updated visualizations. So had we just waited for the schedule to run, we would have also got our new data. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this, showing you how to create a dashboard with the Google Spreadsheet add-on. Please send us any feedback that you may have. And if you build any dashboards yourselves, we'd love to kind of see what you guys can do. And also check out the Spreadsheet add-on documentation if you have any more questions about how to use it. All right, thanks for watching.